Did you know that the former U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders, basically lost her job because she encouraged school-based sex education to include information on masturbation? When she made that statement, it was met with a ton of backlash from both schools and parents. Both were shocked that the leading doctor in the U.S. at that time was encouraging self-pleasure amongst teens. Now, to put this in context, when she made this statement, the year was 1994. It was a time when the HIV/AIDS epidemic was really concerning to everybody all over the world. Okay, so she's attending a United Nations conference, and at the conference, she's asked if she thinks that teaching kids about masturbation would be a way to reduce unprotected sex, therefore potentially reducing the transmission of HIV. And her response is, quote, "I think this is something that is a part of human sexuality, and it's a part of something that perhaps should be taught." Now, when certain groups got a hold of this quote, they were saying that Dr. Elders was basically encouraging teachers to teach kids in school how to masturbate. And now, of course, when it comes to sex education, nobody is teaching kids how to have sex or how to masturbate. What is being taught is what sex and masturbation is and how to keep yourself and your potential sexual partner safe and healthy when engaging in these behaviors. Now, for me, I was a sex educator, and I did teach sex education in the classroom for almost 10 years. And I did explain to students in the classroom what sex and masturbation was. But honestly, that was just like a blip in the sex education lesson. Most of the time, the lessons were spent providing them with skills so that they can learn how to keep themselves safe and healthy. Now I work with parents exclusively in my sex ed parenting course and program, where I teach them how to have the sex, masturbation, and porn talk over a period of 3 to 6 years. 95% of parents, before they take my course, will tell me that they are most concerned about having the sex and porn talk, not the masturbation talk. They usually don't see it as concerning or even really necessary. And then once a parent does enroll in my course and they complete the section on having the masturbation talk, they will usually reach out to me and say, "Wow, I didn't realize how important the masturbation talk really is." Yes, of course it's important. I know this. This is why I included it in my course. I was a sex ed teacher. I'm telling you, middle school age kids didn't really have too many questions about sex, but loads of questions about masturbation. Why is that? I'm glad you asked, because I've got a few theories. First theory, you don't really see masturbation portrayed in the media as a way to connect with oneself. But kids do see, usually it's heterosexual couples, engaging in romantic and sexual attraction that eventually alludes to or leads to them having sex. Rarely, if ever, does the media portray an individual engaging in masturbation in a non-humorous way. Second, many parents will tell me that they've been having this sex talk since their kids were really, really young because they live on a farm. And farm animals, right? They just do their thing out in the open for everybody to see, including the kids. So yeah, the conversation about animal mating starts early and eventually will lead to the sex talks. Okay, but you tell me, when do you see a farm animal just masturbating, right? Like that conversation just never naturally pops up. And now for my last theory. There's a lot of myths and misconceptions about masturbating that many adults, including parents, still believe. They never had proper sex education, and so they don't know that they're still believing in a masturbation myth. All right, let me give you an example. One parent on Instagram who seemed a bit hesitant with my post encouraging parents to have the masturbation talk asked if it's true that masturbation makes it less likely to enjoy partnered sex. And now, if you have watched my video dispelling 5 common masturbation myths, you would know my answer to that. But the reality is that parent's not alone. Many parents worry that masturbating is going to harm their child in some way, that it will make it difficult for them to enjoy partnered sex in the future. I mean, partnered sex is different than masturbating. It doesn't mean it's less enjoyable. It means it's different. Think about it. Okay, so if a person masturbates, they know how to get to that point that they want to get to pretty effectively, right? They practice, they know their body, they know what they like. But then when they go to have sex with a partner, it's not going to necessarily be less enjoyable. It's going to be different. And different doesn't mean less pleasurable. It means that your partner doesn't know your body as well as you know your body. So it's going to feel different. And so yeah, it might take a little bit longer to get to that point because it's not what you're used to. And it doesn't mean that it's less enjoyable with a partner, it just means it's different. Question for you. Do you know what my most viewed video on my YouTube channel is? Go on, take a guess on what you think the topic might be about. It's a video I made over 2 years ago titled, "I Walked In on My Teen Masturbating." And currently it's sitting at around 700,000 views. That's a lot of parents who are looking for guidance on how to have a masturbation talk. Now, parents, I would love to help you avoid that situation altogether. I would much rather you have a masturbation talk before your kid starts masturbating so that you can explain what it is and how to engage in the behavior safely and privately. So if you're here, if you're a parent who's found my channel because you want to know, when do I have the sex talk? What age do I explain what is sex to my kid? What do I say? How do I say it? I want you to know that you are in the right place. I will absolutely help you to successfully have the sex talk. But then I will suggest that you have the masturbation talk afterwards. And now most parents, when I say that, they need time to marinate in that because that talk was never on their radar. And now, of course, the sex talk is super important. I want my kid to know what it is and that it is not something children do. And for CSA prevention, I want my kid to know that adults who try to have sex with children are predators and what they are doing is illegal behavior. And at around the same time, I want my kid to know what masturbation is. And that's been misunderstood for a long time. So there are a few misconceptions about it that I want to make sure that they understand, along with why people masturbate and how to take care of yourself if you do decide to masturbate one day. So if you want to have those talks with your kid too, then fill out the form that's linked in the description and the comments, and let's find out if my Ultimate Sex Ed Parenting course is right for you. Do not avoid a really important talk simply because you're unprepared or unsure of what to say. Go fill out that form. I would love to start working with you.